Why, hello, Jennifer. It's good to see you again.
Hi, you too, Jasmine. It feels so nice to meet you today.
So please tell me a little bit about your background, which program did you partake in assignment, and a little bit about where you're from.
I finished my undergrad in nursing back in 2000. Got my master's in nursing as a pediatric nurse practitioner in 2004. Shortly after that, I was offered an opportunity to be a nurse manager over at the emergency department at Rochester General Hospital.
I like that.
So I was running the pediatric ER there. I realized how much I loved the operations side of things. The business school, Simon School of Business, had just started their medical management master's program. So 1 year had gone through, so I actually decided to switch. I left the PhD program, transferred into and applied to the Simon Medical Management Masters, and I was part of the second class to ever graduate from that program.
That's amazing. I didn't even know they had a medical management program at all.
Oh yeah, it's still in existence. It gave me the foundation that I needed to apply my natural instincts to what I was already doing in ops. You know, you talk about that like hockey stick curve of like exponential growth, right? That degree really enabled me to just really catapult my impact. Left the emergency room, went into healthcare technology, did some healthcare reform, did a lot of different things. But then a few years ago, I got into the startup space. And in the startup space, I'm now meeting with venture capitalists and things like that. I'm like, this is a space that I really don't know. I don't know well. And when I don't know something well, I want to dive into it and learn more. That doesn't sit well with me.
You want to educate yourself, that's very important.
So, and then I feel like it was meant to be because all of a sudden I'm opening up my email and there's an email from the Simon School saying application waivers for the executive MBA program. And this was a month before the year was about to start.
Same happened here. So I resonate with that.
Question I have for you, Jasmine, is what made you interested in joining the MBA program here? What made you take that leap?
So for Simon specifically, it felt like home, it felt like family. Everyone knew me by name and they were very intentional about what they wanted my experience to look like when I got here. And working within education, they tend to place you in that box, and sometimes it's very hard to pivot from education because all they see you is as an educator. So I wanted to take a leap of faith and do something completely different. And I wanted to trust myself to go into something more of a leadership role in a corporate setting. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get my MBA, and I'm truly excited to be here at Simon.
That label, oh, she's healthcare, or oh, she's education, that label just kind of fades away.
And also, there's a sense of peace out here in Rochester compared to New York City. I sleep better at night here. So I'm very excited about that.
I like to visit. So are you in the full-time MBA program?
I am, yes. So I started last year and I'm currently in my second year. And it's been a breath of fresh air. I've been learning a lot.
Do you have an area that you want to specialize in? It's still different. The executive program, we don't get to specialize.
Yes, so it's operations strategy. So it goes back to what you were saying earlier about operations. I have a background in 5 years working within education and educational field. I was within the classroom for like the last 2.5 years, and then I pivoted slowly into the operational field. So I was office manager, then I also ended off my career as an executive assistant for the chief school officer. And while being in those roles, I thoroughly did realize that I enjoyed being with like behind the scenes, basically helping someone else's dream come true. And here we are now, basically trying to do the same exact thing in a different capacity.
So have you ever been told before that you're good at getting things done?
Yes, yes, I'm a planner at heart.
Whenever I meet someone who I can tell that they can execute and get things done, I don't care what your background is in, I'm like, you're ops, and I want you on my team.
So I know something that we both have in common is that we're both first-gen students. So can you tell me a little bit more about where your parents are from?
They were born and raised in Southern California, in Huntington Beach. All of my guidance I got from my guidance counselors at my high school. I applied early decision my senior year, got accepted with a full scholarship, and I didn't even apply anywhere else.
Wow.
So I had actually never stepped foot in Rochester before I showed up for orientation.
And here you are, 25 years later. We had 5 different things that I wanted to work on prior to me entering my second year, and the last one was normalizing asking for help. I'm not sure that's something you had a problem with as well.
Absolutely.
Something I'm still currently working on.
Yep. I'm not good at asking for help. I'm much better now than I was.
Yes.
But
and it's so funny because we're both like operation like people. So it's just like normally you would think that we know that we need more than one person to go ahead and get a job done, and we still want to do it ourselves.
I think it's the first gen thing. I think part of it is we're so used to
doing it ourselves,
having to do it ourselves, right? And what makes a first gen student successful in an environment like this? I think it's because in order to get here, we had to be independent. We had to figure things out for ourselves.
Yes.
We had to
make the decisions,
not just wait for someone to hand us things, right? And I think that's what makes us successful in these environments is we're used to having to figure it out ourselves. Like what they say, pull up the bootstraps and just get it done. Yeah.
And now when you think back on your career, and for all the first gens who are currently thinking about going to school full time, do you have any piece of advice for them?
I would say get involved. I think that's the biggest value add is getting involved. So I'm joining the Slack channels, I'm following along. I went to Python coding classes, and everyone, all my colleagues are like, where did you learn that? I'm like, follow the Slack channels, go to the meetings,
yes,
go to the virtual sessions.
Simon's Source too.
They had a tech trek, West Coast tech trek to San Francisco. I went on it. Was I the only executives? Were they all like around my kids' ages? Yes, I didn't care. I'm here for the experience.
Yes, you are.
And I'm not gonna shy away from something when I'm here to get the most I can out of this program. So getting involved in not being afraid to go to those meetings. Don't walk into a room where you don't know anybody. You'll meet somebody. Find common interests. Anything that seems interesting to you, just go to the meetings, make the time.
I feel that. It's a whole lot of first when it comes to being first gen. It's literally in the name. And something that a professor told me that really stuck with me was that if you are nervous, that means that you truly do care. And that shouldn't stop you from doing it anyways.
Yes.
So I appreciate Carol for that. She teaches professional communications here.
Nice.
One of my favorite classes. Thank you, Jennifer.
It's been great talking with you.
Likewise.
Yeah, I'm excited to, definitely let's connect on LinkedIn, and I'm excited to hear, what you do end up doing when you graduated May.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh yes, I'm a hugger.
I am too. I always kind of gauge. I'm like, are you a hugger? Are you okay?
I have to ask. We always have to preface.
You do.